Oh, hey, there I am. I was trying to get there on time. At least started sort of something kind of all together. How you doing, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Time to shuffle up and heal. We're looking for what's our theme today? I never really even finished the theme. Oh wait, hold on a second. Big freezing. Gotta go. I figured this out like really quick how I do this. So hang tight for just a sec. I found a trick. It requires me to just get out of the whole thing and get right back into it. So give me just a second. Hang on. Please hang. All right. So, anyways, back to me. I hope that worked. I think I'm right there. Yeah, I know. I'm so funny. I really, you know what I need to do? I need to figure out a thing like a we'll be right back right after this and just have it be like a commercial propaganda thing. Have you set up your reading with Brandon yet this month? If you haven't, there's still time. And if you don't plan to, kind of bad. Like, I got my coffee warmed. I got this. Let's just run with this for a few minutes. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be fine. Right? Um, Hi, Elaine. How are you? Um, we're all going to make an appearance there in the Northwest. So, anyways, guys, listen. Oh, I'm coming. I'm zooming in and out. That's why. So, there is help on the way. In just a matter of a few weeks, you're going to see a whole new look around here. It's going to be pretty fantastic. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Kelly, great to see you. Um, I'm going to try this too. I'm going to try this. I'm not frozen right now, but I just paused. I want to get this right. Um, I'm going to see if I can do both of these at the same time. I watched this guy do this trick for stabilizing his studio by opening another studio in the background. And I hope that it kind of like comes together here. All right, I'm going to try this. My camera's going funky though. Do you see this? It's kind of like a Brandon, I'm kind of 3 drinks in. Could we kind of make sure that we kind of whatever? Yeah, just letting you know. Just letting you know. All right, guys. Seeing our old friends here. Sabrina, good to see you. Jim, good to see you. Black Bell, good to see you. Michelle, K. Uric, Leslie, wonderful. Brenda. Just an update. Looks like Friday they're in the mail. The Tarot Club cards. They're going to be out there. They're going to be out there. We got our class at the end of the month. Anne, good to see you. Paula, good to see you too. And I think it just doubled down on you. That's okay. Um, yeah, what a great group. What a great group. By the way, you guys could really help me. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I see you getting in here and waving early. Um, Help me out with this. Share this with a friend. Get a couple of friends in here. Matter of fact, send a message to a friend and say, here you go. Ooh, Chuck. Who's Chuck? Oh, Chuck Woolery. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Linda, how are you? Good to see you. So, yeah, we're going to do some shuffle up and in here. And I actually have total panic mode. Hey, Steph, how are you? I just cracked these guys open. The archetype cards, we're going to be using these. Of course, going to be using the Call to the Wild card. Here I am again, pulling the Justice card. It's like the third time I've done that. And then, of course, we're going to use the foiled Rider Waite deck. Yeah, just a couple of quick comments about the world. Let them think they're winning. We're getting into good trouble here. Let them think that this world is all about, like, what are you going to do? Do our silly protests so you can blah, blah, blah? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Right? I'm just telling you that it's going to step in all the right ways. The archetype cards are a little weird. They kind of have, you know what else is weird? Is freezing when you're lifting something up. Right? Looks a little weird, and then they are in the they're in the wild unknown, so they have a certain feel and a certain look to them. Oh, I know what's going on. My light's sideways. Hold on a second. You guys want to get a little closer? Hi, how are you? Oh, yeah. Just open up the curtain there. Don't I grab this like I'm, leaning right in? I'm kind of, here I go again on my own. Yeah, they're in the round. Yeah, this is one of my favorite. The Mentor. Here's a good one. Probably showing these because they're in the mix for the next Tarot of the Month Club. By the way, I saw the. I was forced by daddom, fatherhood, whatever, to see the Minecraft movie, and it was every bit as awful as you would have thought. Just want to let you know. Jack Black hits one note well. Not even all that great, but he hits it well enough to be a performer. And I don't take anything away from him. He's had some great stuff. He's had some things that are enjoyable. But he kind of has that, I'm a guy in recovery, don't let me near the drugs and booze kind of feel to him all the time. And then Jason Momoa's attempt at comedy was... He wasn't even shirtless, ladies. Like they couldn't even write that into the script. And you could tell they were reaching in the script to begin with, but I digress. Yeah, I make it sound like I'm disappointed. Jason Momoa kept his shirt on the entire Minecraft movie. He also had a fake wig on. And you know how listen, everybody's got a thing, right? Sometimes wigs are part of it, and sometimes he's role-playing, and he's trying to play this 80s, this 1989 video game champion, which I thought it would have been funnier if they had made him like a 1981 champion, like made him even older. But he was definitely, kind of in this dated time frame, and it was really about how he's caught in this dream world where like everybody's caught in this dream world and they try and get out. And in Minecraft, you can do anything you want. It's just the game itself is glitchy. The game itself is very kind of like that doesn't make any sense. Like the whole thing just doesn't make any sense. So they made a movie about not making sense with Jack Black. And by the way, my 11-year-old was like, I hope they come out with another one. My 13-year-old was like, I'm glad it didn't come out next year because I'm totally outgrowing this. So I'm pretty sure that the target market on this is 12 years old. And they loved it. They absolutely dug it. They were just like, because one thing they did well, and I'm glad that they did this well. I'm glad that I'm not a part of it. for like special swords and things that like only people that are into the game would know, right? So it's almost like, yeah, there you go. Um, yeah, and then listen, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It did exactly how it was supposed to roll. I'm going to see if I'm going to break the internet with this, by the way. So do you guys... Oh, I'm breaking the internet. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I can't do both of the studios at once, and I'm sure I could play around with it, but I'm not going to do that. I almost broke the internet right there. Did you guys hear that? It was like... Right? Yeah, it kind of sounds like I got a soundboard. I have a soundboard, but my computer can't handle it. Everything's just a little too big. Anyways, back to me. So we're going to do some shuffle up and heal. Love to see our new friends out there. Just another thing in the news and notes here. Don't look at your 401k. I know you're like, but it's the market's back and the things are the what? Okay. Also, I want to let you know that I received in my hot little hands, I received the proof copy of the brand. Did you see this? Did you see that whole kind of like, hey, look at you, buddy? Oh, you guys seeing that? Seeing that? Amazon bestseller? Yeah. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I kind of went Laszlo, if you will, on this one, and then go ahead and there's a publishing company on the back, and we got Penny's word still on there, right? And then we've got another couple of things on here. Archangel Michael, pray for us, and a little rewrite in the book here. I've got a story in here about the Deacon Blues. I added in a couple more things here. We actually cleaned up. It's actually thinner than the original. And I said to Daryl, I go, why is this like thin? Like, this is a tighter book. My ego is like, isn't this bigger? Didn't I add pages? And she said, Brandon, we got rid of all of the extra pages that the publishing company that charged you by page charged you for, because they would basically, like, if they had like 3 lines at the end of it, they wouldn't do a recalibration of it. They would just add on a whole other blank page, so then it would start on another page. So they would do that. It's yet another way that these self-publishing houses like scam you on money. They absolutely scam you. So they basically made my book 80 cents more per book by the extra pages that they put in there. So with this, I'm going to be able to run like some different specials. I'm also going to be all about, getting this platform. I'm almost done. Actually, if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to read a couple of chapters out of this so I can finish up my ebook or my, my audiobook. I have a bunch of the chapters already recorded, but of course you have to have like a certain timbre in your voice. Like, you have to stay consistent in the same settings and all that other good stuff, or it will sound different. I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to sound different, but they're totally worth it. One of the most profound readings I'd ever had was at a home party. A home party is a great way to meet people all at once. At that time, I would meet with individuals one-on-one. The host would have a gathering, and you went to a room separate from them to connect in a reading for about a half an hour. It was a murky spring day as I found the house where I would spend the next 5 hours. It was in a middle-class neighborhood with sidewalks, telephone poles, and drive like your kids live here signs. I could smell the food wafting from the front room as the door opened. It smelled delicious, as most home parties came with the add-on benefit of food. I talk about food as much as I talk about dead people. The host was a retired town official, and he was one of those guys who was simply nice to everyone. He was jovial as always, and let me pick over the buffet for a bite or two. He showed me to the home office that was built for what we were about to host. As I walked through the living room, the big screen showed whatever NASCAR race was on that weekend, and the discussion was about Junior's position and Tony's behavior. Race fans know what that meant. I couldn't help but notice one woman sitting there with a cane and scarf covering her head. I freaked out a little bit. She was so frail, so weak, so terminal. Her aura was gray and dark, like life itself had been sucked out and deposited into a well of despair. Although it's not uncommon for people to be at a home party and not get a reading, I was hopeful and realized I was just scared to have someone like that come to me. A few hours later, Linda came in and sat down. The host helped her into the room, propped her up in a seat, covered her with a blanket, and got her a cup of water. All afternoon I was delivering, your grandfather is this, and your opportunity is here. Your angels are watching over your children. Showstoppers, one after another. I tried to find comfort in routine. I tried to control the moment with direction. We joined hands as I said the same connection prayer I always begin with. I felt her bones rest in my hands. I opened my eyes and saw the struggle of a woman in her mid-50s, ravished by disease, who only left the house today for a change of scenery. I opened my mouth and nothing came out. It's okay, I know. I shouldn't have put you in this position, Linda said, to break the tension. I'm not looking for a miracle or for you to sugarcoat it. I'm stage 4, my body is losing, my time is short. I looked at her through my tearful eyes. She had more reality than hope. She had every moment of her life, of her time being precious, because any Sunday could be her last Sunday, and she was sitting here with me. I know not the hour nor the place, I said with my voice crackling. I'm an optimist about just about everything, and I'm not sure where to take this. I want to know about my future, she said matter-of-factly. My blood ran cold. I couldn't speak, I just stared. My perspective about what I was doing delivering messages was in peril. I wasn't worth my salt if I couldn't provide comfort in this moment. The future? She was lucky to make it to Tuesday in what I could see from my own human eyes. I don't have any illusions about what you see. I don't want to know what will happen to my body. The long pause was almost unbearable. She changed my perspective almost instantly. I want to know what I'm supposed to do when I pass. I want to be a happy ghost that helps people. Game changer. I want the gravity of what she said to sink in. She was facing death and wanted to know how to make something good with her soul. She wanted a game plan to look forward to something. The rest of our time together was about her nieces, her parents that had passed, and her connection with the family outside this room, and how her battle was much larger than she thought. I saw the energy change about her situation. I saw that her attitude changed her body, her spirit, and her path. Her body was embattled and definitely beaten. Her spirit was strong and resilient, and her attitude literally changed her circumstances. Her aura was becoming brighter, with a spark and a glow that spread like wildfire. It grew like the Grinch's heart as he lifted the sled over his head and beamed in every direction. Still sitting in the awkwardness, I handed her a crystal from my pocket. It was a Lumerian, the master healer. As I handed it to her, my attempt to make it feel like that it wasn't a parting gift actually failed. I told her about its qualities, and the purpose was to heal her. She held on to it and said, "I'll put it next to my bed then." Linda survived the next week. Then she survived the next month. Then the year and several years after. She provided comfort care to those with cancer and loved her pet parrots. Her Facebook posts occasionally put us all on lookout for a colorful toucan that somehow got out. She had a smile that made you melt and reminded you that you are alive in your body and your spirit is alive within you. We stayed in touch, and years later she called me out of the blue. "Stop by, I have something for you." Oh, a present. Oh, a present. But it was a bigger gift than something that could be packaged. When I arrived, she sat me on her couch. Her toucan flew overhead and around the living room. Can't imagine how he got out. "Here," she said, extending the Lumerian to me. "It's done its job for me, and now you need to give it to someone else." I knew what her latest diagnosis was. Hospice on Monday. I had a hell of a run, kid. Linda stood up and invited me into the kitchen. "Come with me, I have something to show you." She opened her fridge where she showed me months of supplies of medications. Ha! I've been storing up for a while now. Now I want to set the record for being in hospice the longest. Yeah, I like that story too. So can you imagine an entire book of me reading that? Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, did I just read a story out of my book? The audio book will be out in about, I've just got to do the final edits. I have a couple more to read. And who knows, I might just lift the audio on that and say it's done. And that'd be great if I did that. And then it would be out there and then nobody would get the audio book. Whatever. So, Shart, I don't know if you know this or not, but I own a publishing company. Maybe send me a message, get you hooked up with an editor, get you squared away, and teach you how to, print your book for just a few dollars. We don't like to rob people here. We actually like to get your voice out there. So who's up for a reading? Hey, listen, I think it's chart time. Oh, and by the way, I have a special. I'm going to post warning if it doesn't get squared away. I've got a couple more spots left on the website, tbrennerhouse.com. I have a natal chart reading for $155. A lot of fun. Sure, yeah. I got your message. Jump in, kid. Inexpensive. Built to stay that way. And also, maybe go on tour with me. By the way, I am going to say this too. I'm going to go here. I got to show this one. I got to plug this. I haven't plugged it in forgot to plug it yesterday, was it? Was yesterday the day I was on here as well? Oh my gosh. It's so many days just flying by. I'm going to put this right over my face. So listen, I'm the lead author of a book coming out called Amazing Teachers. A few of you have reached out. Next week, we're going to have a Q&A where you can learn how to be an author with me in one of my Amazing Teachers books. By the way, what do we have to do? I love this stuff. I love that this is just right over my face. A little more casual, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of hanging out. By the way, there are no rules for me anymore. No rules. Just having fun. So listen, if you're not familiar with these, a lot of people get charged like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to be in an authorship book like this. Fraction of the cost. Fraction of the cost. Here's the fun with it. Are you ready? Once you get into a book with me, you also get the perks of hanging out with me. I know this sounds like a little arrogant or whatever, but it also means that you're going to go on a book tour. That book tour is going to be a lot of fun. I got big plans for this book. I got big plans for this type of publication. Trust me, it's a lot of fun. And, oh, by the way, you're going to be honoring your teachers. Sit down, relax, put your tray in the upright position, and let's enjoy. Got it? It's a lot of fun. So sign up for that. You're going to go to 10th House Publisher. I'm going to put this right here. Hold on. You know, the caution of me getting out here on time, by the way, I feel like I'm paying no attention to the man behind the curtain. And by the way, half of you are laughing going, Jesus, Brandon, you're like really on, like, what's going on, B? Like, you're totally like spot on. Like, you're totally spot on. Hi, Rita. By the way, it stands for 10th House Publishing. 10th, TH, House Publishing. There we go. I dies at you. The 16th, you got it. You guys are on it. Now, how do I get this off my face? How do I get... Hi, everybody. So who's first? Hey, Aries people. I don't want to read you. You're a bunch of jerks. I'm only kidding. Tell me what your major Aries placement is. Pull out your chart. By the way, natal chart, last chance. Get the whole thing from me. I'm a trained professional. Am I right, Cherry Pie? Have I got a teacher for you? I love it. Fine. Sun kind of works. Mars in the 12th house. Oh, I love this. All right, guys, that's what I want. So, Trish, 7th house Aries, do you have any planet placements in there? And you're like, it's void. And then I'm like, well, it's kind of what we're kind of looking at. I dies at you. You crack me up. Oh, okay. I'm understanding North Atlantic comedy. Oh, Natalie's here. Hey, Natalie, how are you? Hello, Bumpkin. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I'm going to do a reading for Natalie. Natalie, so you guys have asked when Natalie's going to show back up. She's not going to show up until I get her drunk on margaritas again. It's kind of her own ransom. But I have her chart right here. I'm not going to show her chart, but I'm going to say what her major placements are in areas. Oh, yeah, it's your mother. And your sister. Natalie. Oh, it's not like I don't have your chart here. Did I not do your chart, though? I know I did your chart. Oh, you know what? I think I saved you as Natalie Ruth. By the way, no middle names. Never between friends. Here we go. Yeah, I think it's funny. Like when you do charts and things kind of come in. By the way, I'm not gonna tell everybody that I'm 3 years older than she is. I'm a 9, she's a 7. 76, Albany, New York. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Thing. You have absolute insanity in your chart. Yeah, holy Toledo. So you have 0 placements in Aries, but according to this... Oh, I got your time wrong. I know I got your time wrong. All right, so Natalie, your Aries, being a Gemini badass that you are, yeah, I know what this is. Hold on a second. Yeah, you had like the craziest 12th house impact I've ever seen. You were like you had such a conglomerate. The day you were born, you had from Chiron, Lilith, South Node, Jupiter, Mercury, Eris, Vesta, Venus, and the sun. By the way, Venus and the sun are in conjunct, which is why we're all good looking, right? And by the way, in case you were wondering what my sister looks like, picture this without a beard. Kind of similar. She doesn't have nearly as much facial hair as I do. Not even close. I mean, she has some, but it's not that bad. So, with this, and if I recall correctly, you were an AM baby. You're an AM baby. You're AM baby. You're AM baby. So that would put your Aries. Okay, here we go. I am about to give you a hell of a reading about your career. Here we go. Natalie, this one's for you. Kid. What he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Now I have to get the other thing up here. You know, guys, I was here on time, but I'm completely a train wreck. And you kind of deserve it because you're like, Brandon, where are you? Where are you going to? What's taking you so long, Brandon? I don't know. Right out of the gate, I'm going to do a little bit of shuffle up here. I threw all the cards away. By the way, I dropped these cards, so I know that they are shuffled. That's the way we're going to go. Oh, Natalie, your career. A little bit of conflict. A little bit of conflict. Just a little bit of conflict. By the way, we're not going to say what she does for a living, but here's a hint. Oh my God, I'm hysterical. And here's the outcome to it. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. So sometimes conflict, sometimes people pass. Sometimes people have a good, they change their address, as they say. And then the magician here. Wow, I really like this for you, actually. So what this is really talking about is like a transition. It's a leveling up, actually. It's not just change. It's a leveling up. So here we go. Picking them all up at once. 10 of Cups. You wouldn't change it, kid. You wouldn't change it. You'll love it. It's tough. It's hard, but you wouldn't change it. And it's not just because it's what you know. It's that you love what you do, right? No. You're going to love this. There we go. All right. Then we got the King of Swords. Okay. So this, you know what this is? This is that emotional balance that you have to have when you're helping people do the things that you have. In other words, you can't be too over emotional. So you. And I know Natalie's in the type of role, and she can share whatever she wants, but I'll protect it. She controls her narrative with this. She's in the type of job that her job is so tough that she could go home and cry all day afterwards. It's just, or she could go home and be like, wow, that was amazing. So either way, and then I'm just going to give you the Sun on top of the Magician. This is a complete level up. You know, maybe this is getting with individual people. Maybe this is you knocking it out of the park. Maybe this is you finding solutions where nobody had them, right? Kind of cool thing. Here we go. Oh, I'm picking up like 5 cards here. Here we go. We are the sustainer. The sustainer. Let me put the other ones back in. That was the one that stuck out for me. That was the one that was on my thumb. That's what I usually go with. But how great is that? The sustainer. You know what that means? It means that she's going to go out to the deck and she's going to sustain it. Waterproofing included. He's a big dumb animal, isn't he, everybody? Well, that tells me that you're going to not only, you're going to level up on what you're doing. That doesn't necessarily mean a raise. So sorry, Gemini heart. But with Aries in your 10th house, that's kind of kick ass. It just means that you're going to get what you need. You're gonna manifest this. You got 2 major arcana because of the work that you're doing as a major arcana, and then a court card, and then your 5 and dimes. You know, so you've got conflict, but you're like, wouldn't change it. You're all about the change. The emotional thing is the part that's your challenge and the thing that you bring to it because you care. You give a shit. You give a shit. That's the thing. Then, of course, you got the Magician. Then, of course, you got the Sun. Everybody's going to be all right. Every little thing. It's going to be all right now. All right, Nat, thanks for joining. Thanks for letting me look up and do all the work myself. As always. Who's your favorite brother? By the way, my other sister will not come on to this because she knows she's number 2. She's really number 3, but whatever. Nat, that's what you get for like speaking up. Yeah, I know I'm your only brother, but I'm still your favorite, so technically. Uh-huh. Yeah, enjoying where I'm going. Bro, listen, you might want to hurry up and get your notes. Yeah, I did say that. I have no problem saying that. Thank you guys for joining. Oh, geez, you're making me think, Trish. You're making me think. So glad you're here, Nat. Stick around. These people love you, you know. They absolutely love you. Sangrios, is that what we did? Is that what we did that night? Uh-huh. Phoenix Sabrina's like, I have 0 Aries in my chart except for my husband. Do you have video? No pictures or it doesn't happen. Alrighty, Venus and yep, more retrogrades are ending. Hey Janet, how are you? Janet, we're putting down what Aries major placements we have. We're going to do a read on it. You see Deb. I'm trying to go back up to the top, and I see you there, Trish, and I'm seeing you there, Black Belt. So yeah, let's talk about Mars in the 12th house. Mars sitting in the 12th house. So this is an interesting placement in Aries because you might, early in life, you might have been a naysayer. Just speaking the truth of a placement, right? Truth of a placement. Can't lie about it. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're being like a little Debbie Downer. It's like, you know, like you might have a little bit of that going on. You might have that little bit of like, you know, when they're like, yeah, oh my gosh, you won the lottery. And then you're like, yeah, but think of the taxes. Wah, wah. You might have a little bit of that to it, right? Because you're about the action of why do it, why give up, or why give in, why go to the, you know, the top of the mountain when there's so much work to be done to get there, right? So, what isn't cool that you don't have a moment to dialogue? Well, I can bring you on if you want. I'll send you the link. Anyways, back to me. Let me talk to Deb. Send me a text if you want me to send you the link. I'll bring you on. It'll be a great time. And if the little Aquarian is there too, it'll be a good time. We ought to have all of the grandkids on together and have them do their own podcast. That would be hysterical. And then somebody's losing an eye. That's all I'm gonna say. 4 boys and 1 girl. The girl's gonna kick ass. Like, and by the way, I'm not using names right now because I don't. You understand why, right? So it's everything about the funny part of it. So here we go. So Deb, yeah, expect a little bit of disruption here with this, but also let me tell you about the pros and the cons of it here. The cons are definitely about, you might be a little too harsh on it. You might be a naysayer to the greater good even sometimes. You might be like, God, you mean the thing that's been dead forever? You know, there might be a little bit of kind of like a putting that there. Okay, so your sun and moon is in Cancer. Well, listen, that's going to be a little bit of an equalizer for you. But you're just going to have that thing where you're like, I want to help everybody. Deb, you're like nailing it here. So here you go. Little fire sign in a fire sign. So the Page of Wands means that you're given this so that then you can see things. You can challenge things, right? The Page of Wands is also, not only is it good business ideas, but it's also kind of like a, you know, I'm going to change the narrative a little bit. Also, you're a little bit of a know-it-all. You think your way is the right way, and everywhere else is the highway. Am I right or am I right? Or I should say, are you right or are you right? Not wrong. I'm not wrong. And then I'm going to give you the very earthbound 6 of Pentacles. I'm going to tell you why a card like this will come out. Because you've learned how to temper that kind of overarching, I fucking told you so. Like FAFO. You know, FAFO is kind of like when that became a thing, you were just like, I can't wait to find out. Like you're very much a little bit of revenge. Little bit of bit of revenge there. Right? Little bit of Jason Statham. Right? Little bit of John Wick. A little bit of Equalizer. Right? Just a little bit, right? But let us expand. Yeah, but age, yeah, I love that you're bringing up age. I can't bring up age. And listen, for 29, you're really figuring it out, right? But understand that sometimes even the harshest of placements are there for a reason to get you through. For you to be able to look back and go, the balance. I don't have to be like that. Maybe you teach people how to be like that. Oh, Two of Swords. A little bit of being a tantric bitch. Like, you mean like having sex with people? Like, I don't, what is tantric? What? How am I who? How does that go? Like, do you turn in the middle of it and say, like, how do you like that? I'm done. Wait, what? How does that? I don't even know what I'm talking about now. But the Two of Swords. Let me tell you something about the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords puts you on the position of either you are or you aren't. So you might have been a little bit black and white for a long time. But with age, oh, here it is. Now the Two of Wands. Now you're understanding that your decisions kind of reflect on things, right? I understand. Deb, I'm having fun. Don't worry. Oh, I love this for you. You know what my favorite part about this is that you remember that teaching thing that I mentioned earlier? This is you coming in with a teaching mindset. This is you stepping into this to teach people how to change, how to bring things to another, how to keep calm, how to protest and not, I don't know, ransack the Capitol. You a good leader. That's what that means. Later in life leadership is kind of a thing. Oh, and here is the nectar. By the way, number 18, don't know if that matters to you, which is a 9, maybe a life path 9, kind of a leveling up. It makes sense. So in this life, you've been kind of, that placement for you has actually helped you become the level up that you are. And listen, guys, never take my stuff out of context to the point of like, was he just flirting with, it's not you, it's everybody. It's being able to kind of like exasperate where you are. It's the leveling up. So that Mars in the 12th house, by the way, the psychic house, Pisces. So your Mars, Aries, in Pisces. Pisces, man. No, not you. You're kicking over tables like you're in the temple, ain't you, Jesus? You're saying, listen, we got to look at this the right way. Now you learn the fine art of being able to be like, it's the essence of the change. It's the essence of the spirit of the law. It's the essence of saying, we have to challenge this. Right? Kind of crazy, right? Uh-huh. I love it, Deb. All right, perfect. Deb, thanks so much for joining us. Did somebody just mention Macy's? Oh, by the way, please expect like creative outbursts from me from here on in. Aries and Neptune for me, it's a thing. It's totally a thing, right? Yeah, Deb, thanks so much. I'm so glad. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to get to you guys. Don't worry. I don't know. I feel like I want to hang out for a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm avoiding my taxes. Natalie, I shared your name. It looks like a ransom note. I'm sorry. You're used to it. I'm going to actually pull up my own chart because I forgot where, you do so many charts. This week alone, I've already done about 6, or at least looked at 6 different charts, and I love to do them. I so do. Oh, yeah. So Aries for me is actually in the 9th house. So I'm a 8th to the 9th cusper, and my Chiron is right on that. So, so I want the truth. I got a little Colonel Jessup in me. I just want the truth. So interesting, though, what's happening for me is that Neptune is in the 8th house, which is one of the sources of creation of partnerships and being able to connect on deeper levels. It's got a little... Deb, where are you if it's snowing? Spring is not the spring. The worst part is I get a return. When you adopt kids, it kind of pays off. Hey, Corey, how are you, friend? Yeah, I've been getting your stuff. Why not? Yeah, definitely good to see you, bud. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Trish here because seventh house Aries, and you're void with it. I know you said a little bit later on that the Versix is in there, but that's I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to get that application right. You're probably just going to correct me. But in a void, so what Trisha's talking about is when you don't have any of the major placements. And major placements to me include, of course, the planets, the moon, Chiron, Vesta, Eris, Lilith for sure, north and south nodes. Um, that to me is kind of the point. You can get to the other things like Algol, you can get to the other things like verses, you can, which is basically the center of the universe, which is kind of a centering piece of you. How that translates into areas as well. You kind of are ready to connect with your true self. Like that's what this is. So let this reading kind of resonate. You diving into that. And the seventh house represents friendships, relationships, the things that, the matter people in your life, the ones that are near and far. And sometimes that kind of works. By the way, here you go, Trish. You like the unusual. You hang out with, and by the way, 1 year ago today, Trish and I were on the back lawn of somebody we had just met and watching an eclipse. Remember that? Love it. Love it. Got the eclipse out there. By the way, that makes you be like, hey, man, we got the best of times. You got a little Thelma and Louise in there with that one. And then you're also the one that comes up with the other ideas. You're a good partner in crime. You let those other things, you're going to affect it because the things that are areas in another person's chart are how that's going to react to you, right? So that in and of itself is going to help you get there. Like I have Chiron in that. You're a good friend. You to me, you're positive in the aspect of like, hey, there's friendship. Is that what's right for you, buddy? Like you're the first person to say that. Oh my gosh, here we go. You're going to want to always shed light on the Empress. Funny, that came up today. And then of course you got Temperance. Why not go full high-handed here on this one? And then let's go, and then the Ace of Cups. So this is kind of like you're just loving the ride. You don't overdo it. You don't overextend. You don't over misplace yourself. You don't say I'm in charge when you're not in charge. And you don't say forget it when you don't want to forget it. Right? Oh, yeah. The vessel. So the seventh house to you being a void is the vessel. It contains the parts that you need to reflect what that person needs for you. But you have a standard. Aries in that house is very much like it's a loyalty thing. You have friends for a long time. And by the way, it doesn't mean you talk to them every day. I'll tell a short example of this. With Trish and I knowing each other as long as we have. She had lived in Florida for years, and I said, hey, I'm going down to Florida. And I got connected with a wonderful group down there, and they hosted me because Trish has these types of relationships. How about that? You didn't see that coming, huh, Trish? Right? Am I right or am I right or am I right? Right? Yeah, Corey, I got you. I had a feeling something was up. So it's Dad. Oh, Bud. So Dad's in the ICU. Trish, thanks so much. I'm going to shift gears here. And by the way, you're a good friend. Back me up on this. Here we go. Dad's in the ICU. Listen. You didn't come here by accident, friend. By the way, I'm still inspiring myself. I am aspired to your beard. Not going to lie. Corey's got a spot on beard, guys. Just letting you know. My beard's in fake until you make it mode. And listen, let's roll out some stuff here. All right. Three of Pentacles for Dad. This is directly kind of related to him kind of going through this a little bit by himself, a little bit in isolation. Doesn't mean you're not a good son. Doesn't mean there aren't good people around him. This is him kind of working something out. This is the doctor. This is the nurse. This is the patient. This is everybody kind of negotiating behind the scenes. And then I'm going to tell you that the Seven of Swords here, a little bit of a rough card, but not the end all to be all. I'm going to tell you why. Because what this is kind of like we can't fix everything at once. But if we fix most of it, we'll either come back to the other things or it will become a non-issue. This is strategy. Now, I know that the Six of The Six of Swords can be a little bit gruff sometimes. It looks like it's kind of like that sneaky bitch, right? That's not what it is. It's strategy. You know what kind of strategy? The old wisdom's the good wisdom, right? So I'm also going to bring this to you. I don't know what 12 is to that. I don't know what 3 is to that. I don't know if this is December or this is March or this is 3 kids or this is 12 kids. I don't know. 3672. Is that 72, Corey? I think that's what they're trying to show me. Right? Collapsed on niece's birthday and said, oh, geez. Let's keep rolling on this. Answer when it catches up here. The Chariot. All right, so these are quick thinkers here. These are people that are getting their act together. This is some anxiety with those swords. Don't touch the swords. The swords can be too much. Right? And then I'm going to give you the Seven of Pentacles. There's going to be some reaping and sowing and good stuff coming. Got it? It's kind of lockstep here. Right? Then I pull the River. He's 84. They were showing me multiples of 12, by the way. So he's got his Uranus return, right? Because 84 years. By the way, you can't tell anybody, right? He absolutely has business in the world. You know why? Because the river heals, my friend. And listen, that doesn't mean Dad hasn't changed. That doesn't mean that there isn't some sort of, drastic, not even diabolical, but, some sort of like gumption change in him, right? Those of you that don't know, and again, this isn't making it about me. I was really sick last year, right? And I don't feel the same. I'm getting my feeling back, my legs underneath me, all that stuff. But I'm learning there's stuff I can't do. Like I can't crochet at all, like at all. And then as it turns out, I couldn't crochet to begin with. So, some of the wasn't the magical power I thought it was going to be. But what I did also realize was that there was those limitations have kind of made me look at things differently. And I think your dad just needs a little bit of patience with this. And I think there's a step in the right direction here for him. Yeah, I'm going to go down to Georgia for like a month and learn how to crochet and quilt. Corey, listen, good luck to your dad. I never speak out of school. When somebody sends me a note, I always take it as like, hey, how you been? What are you up to? Thumbs up. Sometimes I don't have time to, respond, but I definitely want to acknowledge it. And when I connected there, yeah, Corey, I'm like, ooh, something's up here. Something's up. And I didn't know if it was something like, oh, I should reach out to Brandon because this has happened. It was more of a coinciding thing, right? So, yeah, the 3-3. Somebody asked me about the specific number. Michelle, it was in the cards. They showed it to me in the cards. It was the 3 of Pentacles, the 7. That was a 10, and then the 2 with the High Priestess, which is kind of like a healing. Go back to the old ways and find the healing dynamic to it. He does have work in this life. He's gonna really push the envelope, and he's gonna come back with a plan. And here we go, guys. Listen, my dad's 77, and he turns to me with one leg. He goes, till they come and get the second leg, I feel pretty good about this. I'm like, Nate, don't be a jackass. Of course, he said it to me while the Twins were getting blown the fuck out by the Pirates, for crying out loud. Scaly was pitching, though. I mean, there it is. All right, guys, let me get up to the top. Yeah, I was doing some peekaboo. Black Bell, how are you, kiddo? Aries and Chiron, which is in retrograde in my third house. Okay, so is it current Aries? No, no, you went through your Aries. You went through your Chiron return. Yeah, so this is about communication and how you talk to yourself, right? Cheers to that, kid. So let's talk about the healing dynamic that you have here, right? King of Swords showing up again. So this is kind of taking the emotional part out of your healing journey. In other words, you're like, sometimes you have to have reckless abandon, clear your throat and just say it. Yeah, this is strength from beyond. And then this is your spiritual journey. Whoa. These cards are, and I know they're mixed up because I dropped them. But I remember some combo platter of this last week. So I'm going to make sure that I keep dropping them the right way. Wow, there's a couple of things here for you. First of all, to land on the Hermit card, the ultimate 9, I call it, this is a level up. This is you being able, listen, you're mature, Michelle. This is you grabbing onto it. Then I'm going to give you the Page of Cups. You had to figure out a new way that if you only communicated in emotions, you will only have that to work with. Then you have the Seven of Cups. You got to realize how many gifts you have in your healing journey. You've been broken a couple of times, therefore they pull it together a couple of times. And then the Hermit gets matched with the Six of Pentacles. Oh, mon Dieu. The Six of Pentacles is about your personal balance, about your growth, about putting lessons to use, understanding which ones go to which, and then the Temple comes out. Of course, it's right on the beam there. How about if I put it over there? Yeah, the Temple. This is about how you have embodied your connection to your healing journey and your path. Wow, Aries serves you well here. Black Bell, because you have a gift. You have a gift, and now you're figuring out where it's supposed to go. I love it. I dig it. I feel it forever. By the way, Thursday morning, we're going to do it at 11 o'clock. Penny and I are getting together. I have a little bit of a medical thing first thing in the morning. It's called electroshock therapy. They're hoping to put some things right back into place, but I'll be here in plenty of time, probably with my pants on. And then Penny will be joining me from across the ocean. I don't know if you know Penny or not, but she and I have a little bit of a chuckle fest when we get together. I do have to correct the time out there, and since I'm in charge of it, I take full responsibility. I also want to see how I can piss off a Brit today. Got it? But join us on Thursday. We're going to have a great time. And if you don't catch it there, be sure to catch the rerun. Oh, by the way, this is everything. This is going to be my sister's Christmas card. Are you ready? By the way, that is her 9-year-old daughter that is 6'4". Just to kind of let you know. Just to let you know. Holy Toledo. Speaking of not having pants on, Gentleman Jim shows up. And everybody's like, he's a really nice guy. What's wrong with him? And Gentleman Jim shows up and he goes, I have Mercury, Venus, and Mars all in the 8th house. The Pisces sun saved you. Let's not get over our skis, Jim. Let's not rush to judgment. I'm laughing. So in the 8th house, which is the water Scorpio house, which is death and sex and taxes and all those things that are externalized, that it's always better if you have somebody with you. It's also about the generation of how you dance with people and how you have this very kind of creative vein. Those 3 planetary placements make it that you become the quite confident one, the one that helps you become who you are meant to be. Single or tangoing or whatever, this dance is really important to you because not only do you learn how to speak, you learn how to love, you learn how to act. So that means that you're going to have influential people along your path along the way. And heavens to Betsy, you could become a great person because of it. Am I right or am I right or am I right? Am I right? See what I mean? Well, Jim is a nice guy. Don't let me be your reference. Oh. Hello, Lothario. So the Two of Cups comes out because you pair with anything. You're a fine wine, my friend. You know, you're just going to quilts get done quicker. Listen to her. And then you have the Three of Wands. So that means that you're willing to kind of take your love and your experiences and bring them to other people in other places. You also might be patient zero, but we won't get into that right now. You will also kind of be the person that says, hey, listen, I want to step out. I can show you the world of shining, shimmering splendor. And then you end up with the Six of Swords. I love this journey, Jim. We're going to call you Gentleman Jim, Journey Jim. I love it. Oh, and by the way, don't look now, but your cards add up to an 11. It's a divine path. It's one that gave you those placements on purpose. While you left other houses naked, along with probably yourself, you also realized that those were powerhouses to keep secrets, to keep confidentiality, to have your connection to things that you love and embrace and share and art and honor, and to be able to keep that personal fight a secret made you a great person, right? It's pretty amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys are jumping all over this, right? My gosh, patient zero. Those of you that get that, laugh. I know Jim laughed at that. He was not patient zero, everybody. Seven of Swords. You know, I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Hanging on the promises and the songs of yesterday. You have learned the fine art with the Four of Pentacles to keep things to yourself sometimes, right? I know, I figured you did. And I love my work and I can't make this stuff up. Six of Swords with the Six of Swords. In other words, it's a journey for Jim. Get to know his Mercury. Get to know his Venus. His Mars. It's a journey. Sometimes you mess up. Sometimes you kick ass. Sometimes it's the same day, and some days it's not even Tuesday yet, and that happens. This really lays it out there. I think, Jim, listen, it's one thing to be a good guy. It's another thing to get cards that validate it, right? And that is the way that you work. How about the kiss? All true. Lenny, you're getting here just in time. So let's recap. Jim has several placements in his 8th house, his Aries. He has Mercury, Venus, and Mars. I started out by calling him a Lothario, and somewhere in the middle of it, I called him Patient Zero. Then I went on to say that he's taken those lessons, held them in caring love, and not only respected everyone on his journey, was able to not write a tell-all book, which he more than likely collected, and he became the man of wisdom to help people along in their journey. Get to know Journeyman Jim. How about that for a recap? Is that pretty good? Yeah, that kiss is kind of a, hey, now, calm down. It's probably a good thing you're in Cali. Yeah, the kiss thing is also, oh, stop. See the number on this? It's LX 60. 666. Which, by the way, is the material life journey. Don't let this fool you. Listen, you cannot make this stuff up. You can't. There it is. There's the message. The things that you do are material. Absolute material. Oh, yeah, the Afghan. Can I tell you how many times Afghan, Jim, thank you so much. Can I tell you how many times, Afghans and quilts come up in readings? Right? Oh, yeah, totally got a bad rap there, Deb. Totally. There's truth, I'm sure. And then there's your truth. By the way, I sound like I'm Belgian. I'm chugging down coffee. I have a problem. Gosh. There's not enough coffee in the world. I've actually been cutting back on coffee. That is to say, I've been trying to do just the one, right? Oh, Hinda, I just saw your thing about your parents. That's wonderful. Oh, and Debbie, yes, the grandchildren will love that stuff. I'm sorry, I just jumped. Corey, I see your note here about catching up later. Yeah, you got it, bud. Stacy, good to see you. Sorry I missed it first time around. Rachel, I saw you commenting. Glad you're here. Yeah, you're super late, but whatever. Whatever. How is that not a metaphor for the rest of your life? Huh? By the way, have you noticed that not everybody is jumping on this? Because I have purposely didn't put like a full content thing on there because I wanted to test it. By the way, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be doing a video that I absolutely slamming the Trump administration. I got to get some ratings up, but so that I can do this other stuff. Just understand that's how I operate. Hey, Ann, I don't know if you have any planets in your 11th house or in Aries at all. If you could, let me know. Wow, my hair's getting out of control. I better hurry up with that. I'm trying to find a date with the photographer. Not a date, like she's just going to take pictures. Well, it's a date. Anyways, we just keep missing each other. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, I'd really like to get my hair cut before Texas, but I can't now at this point. Maybe I'm going to shave my eyebrows. You know, that'll kind of work it around. No, nothing. Okay, all right. So listen, that's also the void. Hey, Trish, there's your sign. So, Ann, this being a void, and again, this lets you kind of open up to reflect what you're going to connect with. Let's roll out some cards here to it. Oh, yeah. This has been a superpower of yours. Superpower. I am going to go full Samson. But it gives you a little anxiety. You might have a little social anxiety here. You might be like, I want to go out, but I don't want to be seen. If I could go out and not be them, Rachel, you're diabolical. And not be seen, that would be great. But the Knight of Wands gives it purpose. Like, you need a good reason to mix and mingle. And when you do, right? We need a new mattress, too. Well, that's weird. Here we go. How about the Ace of Wands? Boy, this is some divine timing for you, too. By the way, this also pushes you towards kind of the social. You might have a very specific way that you think that the world should work. And you might be very opinionated. You might even, like, appreciate some of the overarching things that are happening in society right now that aren't necessarily in your way. Then you have the Four of Swords. This is about timing. So you pick your spots. You pick your spots when you're uber out there. And then I'm going to give you the Four of Wands. You're actually quite happy when you're around people. It's just the idea of going out, right? Spa day. I'll spa day you. You know, back in the day, I used to kind of have this bigger... Ooh, I like this a lot. I had a bigger concept of having like a half spa, half spiritual place. And the Mother. Card number 1, you put yourself first. And by the way, you also feel like you have to nurture people, which is classic for Aries. You know, they tend to think that they know best too. And a lot of the times they do, everybody. Don't mince words here. Right? So even though you might have some anxiety, even though you might kind of like pick and choose your spots whenever you go out or you do a lot of social interaction, you have a lot of worldviews that make a lot of sense to a lot of people, and you just want to be happy. Right? Make a plan, but you're happy when you stay home. Well, listen, the Four of Wands is the happy foundation at home. Right? The Four of Swords is the anxiety for you to not necessarily go. I can see that too. But don't mistrust your wisdom. Yeah, it's a kind of a harder placement for you, to be honest with you. And if you're probably, are you a Pisces rising? No, where are we at here? Are you Taurus or are you Gemini rising? Interesting. Just out of curiosity there. Break out the mimosas. You guys in your spirits and spirits. Like, you don't get that that's, like, there's spirits and then there's spirits. Like, there's a difference there, right? And either way, you're making a difference in the world. Stay home and make a difference. Join things like this and have a good time. Yeah, and Hinda, I saw your thing on Macy's earlier, and it's funny. I don't say anything till it comes true, but I'm going to keep talking because that's how I roll. I just got notified by a group that do I look like a statesman there? I just got contacted to do some things for some Christmas advertising. That's all I'm going to say. And now I can do my spas are spiritual. Janice, you're in charge. And those of you that don't know, I was the voice of Santa down at Macy's for a couple of seasons, pre-pandemic. Yeah, right. Welcome to Winter Wonderland. You know, he never said, in the script, he never said Christmas. He talked about your gift giving is bigger and better than ever. Let Macy's help your Christmas. Let Macy's be your winter spectacular gift giving extravaganza your kids want. Never said Christmas once. And if you notice, they don't use Santa. He no longer ho-ho-hos at the end of the Macy's Day Parade. Right? Yeah, it was the voice of Santa at Macy's in Herald Square. Just there, though. Right? Two crazy things. Meet you over a signal. I had I probably read like 5-6 pages of script that were in really tiny font. And they were like, you got to say this verbatim. Like, there's no whatever. Welcome to Winter Wonderland. All of the things that a parent needs for the little boys and girls to have a great winter break. I think I did say there was a Merry Christmas, but I don't think they used it. It was Happy Holidays to make it the happiest season of the year. Yeah. So it was, it was a cool gig. Anyways, that group actually reached back out to me, do some other voiceover work. Bopping. Kind of all okay with that. Yeah, I kind of love what I do. I don't know if you guys do that. Depth, true story. You guys know I don't drink, right? Like, I cannot drink. Should. Yeah, that is a guy's spa day. And thanks so much for being part of this. Hey, Megan, I see that Aquarius is your 11th house. Okay, so we're talking Aries today. So look up in your chart what planet placements you have in Aries. That's kind of what I'm doing the reading off of. And I see you guys don't really necessarily have all that. Tell me about your money. Oh, like a mattress. Oh, that's where the mattress came from. You know, Lenny, I think it's a good thing to kind of like, you do realize that like in about 3 or 4 weeks, a lot of these companies are going to start feeling the pain of the export-import tariff stuff. And by the way, they've always been there. You're going to see marginal cost price hikes, that sort of thing. And people are, getting their toilet papers and whatever. It's not about stocks, guys. You do know that the stock market's kind of wholesale been hijacked with this too, right? You do realize that they're plummeting this so then it can position it so then percentages of changes kind of happen. And John Q. Public, like you guys that have 401ks, are sitting there going, oh my God, I'm down 20%. And they're like, just stay, just stay, just stay. Because if you tank it more, then they're in trouble because then they can't purchase it. It'll never get their value back. What will happen is it looks like they'll get their value back. But if they kind of do a creative dip like this, down around 20 to 25%. They can call it a recession. They can then take over other things. They've created the emergency. By the way, to make no mistakes, tariffs are equal to, say, a red flag operation. Same thing. The tariffs are a red flag operation. They just are. It's a series of psyops, guys. They're playing with our head. Just sit back, relax, and just let them do this until they burn themselves out. The grown-ups will take over, and then we'll be fine again. It won't look the same because we'll never let anybody like this in again, ever. We had him. We had him on the ropes. We had him on the ropes. He was one punch away from a standing 8 count. He was one punch away. He was one more fall down from a knockout. But we let him get up. We let him get through. It's a thing. It's a ting. It's a ting. It's a thing. All right, where are we now? Yeah, Stacy, coffee's good. Hope you're still sticking around, kid. Oh, Stacy, coffee is good, and you're going to need it because you're going to take the higher ground. Right? Hey, how about Costa Rica? How about Costa Rica? How about Stacy pulling the moon card right here in the centerpiece? Let's go to Costa Rica, everybody. Ooh, Stacy ran out of creamer. So this is talk about having the higher ground, uncovering things in the subconscious, and taking on the burden yourself. You're taking on the burden yourself. The 10 of Wands often gets described as in like you're at the burden. It's learning how to say no. It's taking on the right amount. It might be a little too much for a little bit, right? Right? Rita, you got to fix that. This is about an X. 5 of Cups right here. Stacey, that son of a gun just kind of went, right? Yeah, Rita. I think what Trisha's telling you is get in the bag. From the moon to the stars. You got bigger places to go, kiddo. Stacey, take a simple, gentle, deep breath in. Queen of Wands. This is about you taking over. Maybe, just based on these cards, maybe you were a little submissive, but you've learned the idea to kind of get the higher ground. And submissive doesn't mean that you take off your belt and you say, all right, everybody line up, I'm going to smack you. That's not it. No. That's not how we go from submissive to empowerment. It's using your words. And by the way, uncovering truths. The star card is about a higher learning, a higher level. By the way, once you recognize that, Queen of Wands comes in and Queen of Pentacles comes in and just says, hey, listen, I'm going to super practicality you. Oh, Anima Mundi. This is a little bit of everything. By the way, this is you discovering yourself. It's about creating your own realities there, kiddo. Jesus. Rita is apparent. We're all mandated reporters. Rita, we just reported you. What's in the Twins cup? They need to bring back the beef Mexi melt. They had it for like a month and a half. It's cheese and meat. Why did you take that off the menu? Listen, Rita, I am your sanctuary. Come to Spirit Tree. We'll hide you in one of the rooms. It's starting to get crowded back here. I'm not going to lie here, Stacy. I'm kind of dropping truth here. Kind of dropping truth bombs left and right. Shing. How do you be? How do you do? What do you know? I'm so glad you're in here. Oh, all right. Calm down. We're not. Yeah, the real ID thing, the passport. Nobody's been able to answer this to me. Do I need a? The Crunch Wrap Supreme was kind of been my go-to sense. We're a tribe. Stacy, thank you. Oh, you're a blessing too. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's interesting because I've actually done really well with the fast food stuff. Like I've actually, back to me. And I was going along great. And then I'm, going to leave. And listen, sometimes, it's a true story. It might be a sad confession, but it's a confession nonetheless. I sometimes will stay here till midnight, knowing full well that the restaurants are closed. Like post pandemic, they were all kind of closing early, and sure enough, there always is. Um, yeah, so get it now. Um, and then Burger King turned around and flipped over to 24/7 again from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, Alex, how are you? Oh man, have we really been at this for an hour and a half? You got it, Ann. You're the best. Love you guys. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Go over to my YouTube if you're on Facebook. Exciting things coming here. Listen, you guys do know that when I hit the ground running, it's just going to take off. And you guys are going to smile and say, like, I know that fucking guy. I know that fucking guy. You are slowly going to watch Joe Rogan's format blow up. And you are going to also watch some of the other podcasting worlds people kind of just eat themselves whole. And you're going to see some other things that are, I like a good planned podcast sometimes, but also like the organic nature of it, right? And I'm here to tell you that there is, that the changes that are coming. Yeah, Rita, actually, just a little bit of an update. Did I show it already? It is in the works. So if you have ordered your book, and by the way, it's still on the website, I am ordering those shirts on Tuesday, next Tuesday. That's when we're going to be able to get the early release from the books, which is me ordering it, making sure I get the signed copies out there. I could not find a Canadian way to do this for whatever reason. And by the way, this was not, you can get everything else, but I can't ship to Canada right now. Just to let you know. It's weird. Hey, Megan, how are you? But I'm also, when I go out on the road on the 26th, and then when I'm down in Austin on May 1st and 3rd I'm going to be doing podcasting down there. That is the launch of our new media network. And yeah, I'm going to have a whole bunch of shirts that you can buy. I am doing a independent booksellers event at a place called Mocha Lisa in Clifton Park. They're great. They've been a friend of ours forever. They're really great to our authors. They're just good people. Amazon, it is not out there right now. And actually, if you try and purchase it, it will not work. The audio is going to be out the second week in May. Basic recording to it, and then go the distance with it. So yeah, a ton of stuff and a ton of structured stuff. That's why I'm kind of keeping this Monday, Tuesday thing, kind of keeping it limber, letting you guys know, right? Bring mine with you and I will pay. Of course. Actually, you know what I want to get? I want to get one of those t-shirt bazooka guns, right? Yeah, the creative organic outburst. That's just kind of where it is. Yeah, it's so funny because these shirts were printed not in the United States. When you're a business, you go, okay, here you go. And I don't mind when things are made out of the country. I just don't. I hate it when hypocrites will sit there and go, only made in the USA, made in Taiwan, made in the Philippines, made in Bangladesh. Like that's the stuff that's kind of like, hey, Megan, the best way to do is just send me an email, brandon@spiritualconnections.com. Sometimes I get the t-shirt bazookas. Yeah, there we go. You guys do realize that I'm just having the time of my life. I have met some of the greatest people I've ever met in the last 2 years for certain. And the last like 6 weeks notwithstanding, I have had one home party after another that have just been salt of the earth, amazing people that have overcome their crap, their shit, their everything, and they maintain as a family and they fight for one another. I get it. I gave up being famous to make sure that I was in the right spot. It's that simple. Oh, and by the way, if you're a member of this channel, I'm going to pop on over to the piano and do a little afterclow here. The lighting will be weird. I'll light a couple of candles so you can sort of see it, but I want to do something for my peeps there. I'm feeling a little piano love coming on. Haven't really played a lot in the last couple of weeks, and got to shake that out a little bit. So I'll be doing a little piano love for you. And I have some big, 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 big things coming in the fall, and I hope you guys are close enough to come to it. I'm going to be working with the United Way, helping them do fundraisers for their local stuff as their funding gets cut. I'm going to be working with, there's some talk at the Dolly Parton Foundation for getting books into kids' hands. My book is completely not appropriate for it, but whatever. But I think it's important to become an activist at the level that you have. And I understand that I'm not famous, but I have a certain amount of clout. I have a certain amount of reach. I have a certain amount of personality. And it's my responsibility to make sure that I get there. I have never felt better about what I'm doing than I am right now. It's a little touch and go because nobody wants to spend money right now. It's a little touch and go because, I'm still selling out places. I'm at the Park Theater in Hudson. And by the way, if you want to go to the Hudson Theater show on Sunday, get your tickets today. They only have like 4 left. So, it's a 60-something seat arena, and it's basically sold out. I mean, that's the thing. Like, things are going to work out for me. Things are going to happen. Things are going to go, right? Yeah, the Dolly Parton thing's a big thing. And Kat, I meant to say hi, and Kathy, I see you there too. I'm sorry, I saw you in the feed. I didn't give you a shout out, but here you go. Yeah, and Elaine, I appreciate that too. Guys, listen, we're going to be okay, right? Mary, yes, go on the website. You can still order it. And it's $52 for the t-shirt and the book. I will order the book. I will sign the book rather. And I will also wear your t-shirt for you if you want, so it smells like me. It's got a hint of Palo Santo on it. I'm just letting you know. And a little Matthew McConaughey. Just thought I'd let you know. Yeah, thanks guys for being part of my journey. Yeah, the elbows up, Maple Leaf. Look at you guys go. Yeah, the Imagination Library, that's the program. That's the program. That's the way it goes here. The book is officially going to be out at the end of next week. We're going to be sending out the books. We can order them and get them in and signed, and the t-shirts and everything else. Oh, and if you have ordered it, we realized that it didn't sync up. That, if you said you wanted an extra small t-shirt, really? I mean, I'm fine with it, but you gotta, no picture, didn't happen. We've got to contact everybody and just make sure the sizes are good before we do it. We've gotten one prototype in, and it runs pretty true to it. Most people are going to be large or extra large, just, for that comfort fit, but they're all V-necks. This is the women's only brand. I'll be wearing a V-neck shirt. I mean, I'm the only guy that does it, except for maybe Gentleman Jim. Right? You do know that they're like, well, yeah, because I'm always burning stuff. Get it all up in my eyebrows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean tonight, ladies? All right, so Tuesdays are kind of comedy hour, right? Oh, by the way, I'm actually talking to another comedian to come on the show. He's a great guy. He's a funny guy. He's political. I'm really starting to realize how valuable comics are in all of this. So, yeah, and if you go to the website, you'll see the package. I only have it offered in the package deal right now for the shirt and the book. The book will be out though next week. And then just know that if you're on my email list, you're going to get all my stuff anyways, right? So there it is. There it is. Yeah, Kathy, just go out to the website. It's like I said, it's $52 for both. Um, and we're going to be able to kind of do some other stuff. By the way, I'm just not going to send you a shirt and a book, right? I'm going to give you a glossy 8x10 where I sign my eyebrows. Oh my God, that would be so funny, wouldn't it? Be like, hey, I got this dipshit. Like, even comedians aren't able to, like, get there. Like, they take their, like, headshots. No, Jim, you have to wear a woman's shirt. Wait till next week. The other link will be up. But you'll get it soon enough. Fair enough. Yeah, do not order the one out there. They will cancel your order, and you won't be getting the right book anyways. And you'll be supporting an old relationship of mine. It would be like liking someone else's ex, right? Sound like a plan? All right, guys. Listen, heart taps. Love you guys to pieces. Remember to keep going. And keep being amazing people that you are. And by the way, thank you. I've now had 4 people mention to me how many other people doing spiritual type work tell their constituents to keep going. By the way, the Keep Going t-shirt is coming back. I'll see you guys soon. Heart tap. Keep going. Penny, on Thursday, be sure to join us. I'm going to get my eyebrows done. What's up with my eyebrows? Oh, look at that look. Oh, my God. I look like I felt a tug and I needed a toilet.